Good afternoon. I am Niro Kitagawa. And I have two topics. The first one is waste heat recovery and utilization in EC Act in Japan, which means Energy Conservation Act in Japan. And the second topic is technologies and examples for waste heat recovery. The first topic, waste heat recovery and utilization in EC Act. There are 3 points in EC Act. The first point is that standard values are stipulated. Exhaust gas temperature and recuperation ratio, etc. are stipulated. This is the first point. Second point is that EC guideline enterprises are required to comply with the EC guideline, and every equipment is required to be managed, which means PDCA, planned check action cycle, must be rotated. This one is the second point. And the third point is that energy management manual. The enterprises are required to make energy management manual. Those are 3 points in the Act. The first, about the standard values. There are 3 values stipulated. The first standard is that waste gas temperatures for boilers. The second point is that rates of waste heat recovery for industrial furnaces. And the third point is that furnace wall, outer surface, and outside surface temperatures. Those 3 items are stipulated. And also there are 2 kinds of criteria, standard and target. Now, of course, target value is more strict. And this table is that waste gas temperatures for boilers. The horizontal column is that kind of fuel, liquid and gas. And also there are 2 standard and targets. And vertical side is the capacity of boilers. And for example, the bottom row, the small one-through boiler, even the liquid is the fuel is liquid fuel, standard temperature is lower than 250 degrees. This is stipulated. And second, the rate of waste heat recovery for industrial furnaces. Horizontal side is there are 2 standard and target. And the ABC is the capacity of furnace. And the vertical side is the temperature of an exhaust gas. And for example, the temperature of an exhaust gas is lower than 600 degrees, and the capacity is A, which means the larger one. More than 25% of an waste heat must be recovered. This one is also stipulated. And the furnace wall, outside surface temperature. A horizontal side is also standard and target values. And also ceiling, side wall, base temperature. And horizontal side is the inside temperature of the furnace. And temperature is less than 900 degrees. The side wall temperature, the center, must be less than 80 degrees, lower than 80 degrees. This one is also stipulated. And next, EC guideline and an energy management manual. In the EC guideline, recovery and the utilization of waste heat is stipulated. And that part is composed of those 4 items. First, management, the measurement and recording, maintenance and inspection, and measures in installing new waste heat or recovery facilities. And about the management. The first 2 are regarding to the values, and I already mentioned about those 2. And other than those, temperature, volume, and property of a steam drain must be managed. And for range of recovery of a heated solid or liquid must be managed. 5, waste heat shall be utilized in an appropriate manner. This one is also stipulated. And regarding 1, 3, 4, to make EM manual is also required. And second, measurement and recording. Temperature, heat quantity, components of heat media, etc. shall be measured and recorded. And also to make a manual is required. And maintenance and inspection. Waste heat recovery facilities shall be inspected and maintained, including cleaning of the heat transfer surface, etc., and prevention of heat media leakage. And to make a manual is also required. And measures in installing new waste heat recovery facilities. And when ducts for exhaust gas are newly installed, measures shall be taken which raise exhaust gas temperature. And also when recuperation equipment for waste heat is newly installed, measures shall be taken which raise heat recuperation ratio. And this table is an example of a manual for steam boiler. And this one is the 1 sheet. And in this, the 4 items must be written. And also the point, management point must be written. For example, waste gas temperature must be 108 degrees or lower, etc., etc. The summary of an EC Act in waste heat recovery. There are 3 points. The first point is that standard value is stipulated. And the second point is that EC guideline is stipulated, and enterprises shall comply with an EC guideline, and manage an equipment for waste heat and recovery. And the third point is that EM manual. Enterprises are required to make an EM manual for each equipment. Next, technologies and examples for waste heat. The contents of this chapter, overview and types of heat exchangers, and also case studies. And this table summarizes waste heat and source depending on facilities. The first column is a facility, and the center column is a heat source, and the right side is an utilization. And for example, the furnace, boiler, dryer, heat source is an exhaust gas. Utilization, preheating of a combustion air or water. like this. And this table summarizes temperatures of an exhaust gas depending on industries. The vertical side is the industries, and for example, iron, cement, glass, etc. And horizontal side is the temperature. And for example, in cement manufacturing, the temperature range is from 500 degrees to 1000 degrees. And this table shows the heat exchangers. There are many kinds of heat exchangers, like a plate type, rotating type, multi-tubular type, and also this one is the regenerative burner. And in this equipment, 2 burners and a switching valve are equipped. The first, this equipment is operated in mode A, upper side in this graph. And then 1 minute later, the switching valve works and move to mode B. And then 1 minute later, again move to mode A. And in mode A, gas and flows sent to left side, and the left side burner is used. And the exhaust gas goes through right side, and then here heat the heat element, and the temperature of the heat element goes up. And 1 minute later, move to mode 2, and this time the gas goes from right side, and the combustion air is heated by the heat element, and the right side burner is used, and the exhaust gas goes to the left side. By this, the combustion air is heated. And this is an example of a renewal of regenerative burners. The kinds of fuel is a neutral gas, and gas consumption is this much. And present air preheating temperature is 200 degrees, and this temperature goes up to 684 degrees. By this, gas reduction is 62,000 cubic meters per year, which means 25% of reduction is unachieved. And the sum of saving is around 6 million yen. And this is the example 2, steam drain off and recovery. Now drain off is not recovered. If a drain off is recovered, and how to calculate the amount of saving is not so easy. So we use this graph. In this case, the temperature of a drain off is 90 degrees. And that water is mixed with feed water, and the feed water temperature goes down to 72 degrees. And from this graph, we can get 7.5 degrees saving. And we can reduce 25.5 kiloliters oil equivalent per year. Yeah, thank you.